Okay, welcome back. I'm going to talk about Cloudbase today. Cloudbase is very important because you can't see when you're in cloud, and a private pilot, when you're learning and you've just passed your test, you don't want to be flying in cloud. So the Cloudbase is the bottom of the clouds, and that can be at various heights. Quite often you'll find in the UK the Cloudbase will be anywhere between 2,000 feet, and it comes right down to the ground level. And unfortunately the ground level rises, so you can find that the distance between the Cloudbase and the surface can get narrower and narrower, and if you're trying to find an airfield in low cloud, the risk of having an accident and crashing and killing people is obviously much higher. So as a rule, you know, when we're looking out at the cloud and we're looking at flying conditions, you're looking at the Cloudbase. That's one of the important factors. Obviously weather, wind, all this is a factor, but visibility is a main big factor. And if you find out, like today we're at Manston in Kent, today we take one look at the Cloudbase and we think we're not going flying today, we're going back to the bar and wait for it to clear, have a cup of tea, have something to eat, talk about flying and stuff like this. Is what we do. Whereas, alright, in Flight Simulator you can turn the weather off, but I like to leave it on real time and weather as much as possible. So I'm going to demonstrate to you now why you should never fly when the Cloudbase is really low. And I'm going to do a demonstration video in the Hawker Hurricane. I was hoping to get up and shoot some Jerrys down. I've got some ME 109s out there and HE 111s and things. I was going to get up there and give them a good squirt, but Cloudbase is too low today. So we're going to talk about low cloud and flying, and why it's, even if you're a really good pilot like me, modest too, seriously, even if you're a really good pilot and you're confident that you can get that aeroplane in, these are reasons why you shouldn't do it, because it's dangerous. It's double dangerous. And the truth is, we'd never have taken off today in this video because the Cloudbase was too low, and if we had, we certainly wouldn't have come back to that airfield. We'd have wanted to fly to another airfield, and we would have rung ahead and found the weather for the other airfield to make sure the weather was clear. And when you're flying, you always have enough fuel to get to where you're going, but it's important to add 20% on top as well. There's no point in carrying unnecessary weight. Airplane is not like a car. With a car, when you fill it up, you fill it up. You know, you don't put a fiver in, or you might do. It depends how much money you've got, I suppose. But really, with airplanes, you don't want to be carrying excessive weight in fuel. So you're going to put enough fuel in that aircraft to get you to where you want to go, but you're also going to put 20% extra in case you can't land when you get there and you've got to have a divert field. So all part of flight planning is you've got to look at where you want to go, and you think, well, if I can't get in there, I need a divert field. I've come completely unstuck before today, and I've been stuck in cloud. I couldn't land where I wanted to go, and I've had to call air traffic control and ask for radar vectors, and they just give you a heading and an altitude, and they steer you all the way to the airport, and they say, tell me when you can see the runway, and you get there. Yes, runway's in sight. Okay, call the tower on this frequency. So air traffic control are there to help you. But back in the day, of course, they didn't have all these fancy systems, and you were totally on your own and your own eyeballs. So you just don't go flying when the weather's dodgy. That's the nub of the story. Here's the video. Okay, welcome back. Seems to be working. Now, yesterday we did a lot in the Spitfire, whereas today we're in the look at a horrible grotty day today in Manston. It's very overcast. If someone said to me, you could have a flight in a real aeroplane, do you want to fly the Hurricane or the Spitfire? I'm afraid I'd say the Hurricane every time. I really would, because I think it's a better aeroplane. It's not as fast as the Spitfire, but it's super cool, and I'm going to show you why. Here we are outside the Baron Flying Club. here at Maidstone. Now, as far as handling on the ground is concerned, you know, the Hurricane is a much better ship. It has a pneumatic self-centering tail wheel. I know that doesn't mean much to you, but believe me, there are pigs of taxi the best of times. Oh, I'll just turn it into wind here. And this Cloudbase is dire today, it really is. But we're going to have fun anyway, until the weather picks up. Alright, let's go. Gear up, props back. Wow, this is horrendous. Let's trim that in. Let's find out how thick this is. Gun sights in the way, really. Like soup. I'm looking around the gun sights, I can't see the instrument that I need really. There we go. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, how are you going to get back down through that without hitting the ground? Well, that's a good question. I'll worry about that later. I'll have to find a hole in the clouds like that one over there. That'll do nicely. Right. Yes, I do like the Hurricane. There was more of them and they were a better aircraft, I think. They were not as fast, and that was the only thing. The Spitfire was more modern, but it suffered from a few technical problems. Like the undercarriage was too narrow. Why haven't both wheels come up? I'm getting in the... no. Got one. And the sight's not turned on, is it? Which one's the sight? Starter? No. Ah, there it is. That one, I think, should turn on the gun sight. See if the gun's right. Oh yes. There's something we haven't seen me do before. The Jerry's around. The Jerry's. This is the Battle of Britain. You know, this is the place. You know, where the Battle of Britain was fought. Manston in Kent. That was right on the forefront. They flew from Hawkinge as well, Biggin Hill. There's nothing at Hawkinge anymore. It's the hangars are still there, and it's a museum now. But I think they've built houses all over the airfield. The airfield's not there, but they've got some nice aeroplanes on display there. Look at that. It's horrible, isn't it? Quite often you can see sea fog right up to the coast and then it's gone. But today we just seem to have like mist, fog over the over the aerodrome. Let's see how fast we're going now. 300, we've got 300 miles an hour. I'm looking round to see if there's any Jerrys. If we come across a Jerry, we'll have to take him down, of course. Yes, it's most challenging. You see, when you get this sort of situation, when you arrive at an airfield that you're going to, it's time to divert because it's rather dangerous trying to slide in underneath that to find your airfield. That's what we're going to do today anyway, that's what we're going to do. So where are we? We've got Reigate over there. So instead of going over the town, we'll cut in here. This is the lighthouse. We've got Neptune's tower over there. So if we try and stay over the fields, the green bits, we'll head inland because we know we're sort of going the right way from Anston. So we'll try and avoid the town. And we'll get as much height as we can without disappearing into cloud. If we disappear into cloud, we have to apply full power and just climb. I mean, in actual event, I mean, if these conditions did occur, we'd just divert, we'd go somewhere else. That's why we carry extra fuel, 20% extra to allow for a divert. But we would never have taken off in this to start off with unless we were going somewhere else. We'd already found that the weather, those Tesco's, we'd already found the weather was okay. And there's the garage there, look. That's a good speed, so that when we find the airfield we can hopefully get it in one. Don't want to go too slow though. Keep the speed up to 140. There we go. Into cloud. Whoa. See how dodgy this is. Super low cloud. Okay, prop can go fully forward. Another bit of ballooning. Putting the flaps down so late. Trickle of power now. Kick it straight. Well dodgy weather. Right, I think we made it, old bean. That'll make for some interesting video. We do a replay on that one. Okay, flaps up. You see how difficult it is to turn these things. Look, got full rudder in there and right hand brake, and it's still not wanting to turn. Self-centering tail wheel, and it's not centering. Okay, well, we'll leave it here. So the nub of the story is the Hurricane is much easier to handle on the ground than the Spitfire. That's the main reason I like it. But even so, they're still pigs to handle on the ground. They got this ye old braking system, differential braking. Never mind. But we'll wait for a nicer day, I think, because this is real time and weather here in Manston. Come on, turn. It's going absolutely the opposite way, look. They're a weathercock. They just want to point into wind. I mean, that's what it is. It's trying to get a weathercock to not point into wind. This can be tricky, I can tell you. Sure, right. Brakes on, switches off, and it's time for a cup of tea, I think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.